put a handle on this nice sledgehammer that I acquired from my brother. It was just laying out in his yard. So I had a broken handle. Looks like it's a 12-pound sledge, and yeah, we're gonna get a handle on it. Looks like it's Route 11. I don't know if it's a good maker or not, but looks like we have a couple wedges in here. Hopefully one of them's metal and also a screw. So we gotta get all that mess out of there, get this broken handle out, and yeah, we'll get a new handle on it. So let me get set up, and we're gonna start taking this apart and show you how to put a new handle on an old sledgehammer. So, well. So the easiest way I found to getting old handles out of a hammer or an axe or a maul or anything is just to use a drill. So go ahead and do that. There's all the pieces. So we got wood, concrete nail, screw, and what looks like the original wedge. So oh, we got two wedges. Good. So we got two wedges, a concrete screw, and a nail. So looks like they're having trouble keeping that in there. Why not? I don't have any red, so. All right, while I got the hammerhead drying, put some light forward blue high temp enamel on it, pretty much just to use up the can of spray paint. I'm gonna work on this handle a little bit. It looks like the butt of it got wet while I was laying in the shed, so can't complain. It's a free handle, but let's go ahead and try and clean that up a little bit. Alright, now I got to make a wooden wedge. And I got a small piece of walnut here. I just need to trim it. It's a little bit too wide. Let's trim it some more. Okay, so forgot to hit play. Pretty much all I did was I hammered the wedge down in there, and I filled up all the gaps with Gorilla Glue. So when this thing dries, this stuff's going to squish out everywhere, and that's what I want it to do. I want it to expand and really lock that thing in that handle. And then after all that's done, we'll put the steel wedges in. Steel wedges in. Show you what we got. We got our wooden wedge going this way, and I got my two steel wedge going perpendicular to that one. So then I got the Gorilla Glue, and it's going to squish out and fill in all those voids and hopefully really lock this thing in there. So all right, let's see what happens. Let it dry. Alright, so I'll kind of give you a show here. You see the Gorilla Glue is expanding. It'll all gush out, and it'll have a big giant glob on top after it all dries. Then I'll just take a razor blade and cut it off, and either hit it with a file or clean it up on the belt sander real quick, and that handle will be set. So I'll let it dry and show you that later. Alright, so back to Metal Man Productions. I'm in the middle of working on this sledgehammer, but while that's drying up, I'm going to go ahead and make a couple of over-the-door hooks out of these railroad spikes. So get these in the forge and get started. It's going to be a real simple hook, I hope. Alright, so we got the forging done. Now we're just going to clean it up on the belt sander, get any kind of little catches and hitches on it, anything that might snag a linen or whatever you might want to hang on this thing. And then we'll put it on the wire wheel, heat it back up to a black heat, put some wax on it, be done. So, got a couple of over-the-door railroad spike hooks. Again, I forgot to turn the camera on when I made the initial bend for the spike head, and that's just because I'm an idiot. But that's pretty much it's like the grand finale of the whole thing, is putting the hook into a hook, and that's when I forgot to turn the camera on. So, but you got to see me make the over-the-door hanger, and anyways, whatever. You can even hang it up in rafters on a 2x4, stuff like that. So go ahead and get these cleaned up and give you a preview when they're done. Alright, so got the hammer done. Guess I named it Big Blue. Big old 12-pound sledge. I ground off the front and I just touched up where the belt sander hit it, and I just kind of touched up the ends of the belt sander. Nothing crazy. Like I said, just using up a can of paint. I burned off all the original clear coat on the handle because I can't stand that stuff. So I burned it off and just kind of rubbed it down. And yeah, here we go. 12-pound sledge, basically for free. And she's a big boy, 12-pounder. If I can show you that. She's a 12-pounder. And there it is, and up here it has a insignia. That's a shield with an H. So I think that's a pretty good brand. I've seen that logo before. But yeah, this thing's big old hammer. And yeah, it's done. Ready to knock down some walls or do whatever. But yeah, you can find these things just laying around. This was laying in my brother's yard for many years, and find them at flea markets, this, that, and the other, and you can kind of get them for a steal. And handles are really cheap, so it's probably about a $40, $50 sledgehammer. So, I mean, I restored it, and only thing it cost me is some time. So, yeah, keep your eyes peeled for these at flea markets. Maybe you have a relative like I had, just had it laying around with a broken handle. But yeah, look for this stuff. It save yourself a lot of money if you need a sledgehammer. Handles are cheap. They're at most good hardware stores. He also gave me this giant wrench, and I kind of figured out that it was a medium carbon tool steel. I was messing around with it this morning. I was able to get it to water harden without any issues. It did kind of oil harden, but not very hard, but it did harden. File would still cut it, but it was harder than when I started. But yeah, it's a good medium carbon water quenching steel that, I don't know, probably a tool steel. I'm sure it's some sort of tool steel. But I think it's going to be a perfect steel for a nice long sword. So I've always wanted to do one, and I think I found the piece of metal that I'm going to use to accomplish that. So nothing too crazy hard, nothing too crazy soft, right in the middle, right where you want a sword to be. And also show you what else we did today at the shop. Got both of the over the door railroad spike door hooks done. So it actually got me on the wire wheel. It ripped it out of my hand and spun around and whacked me in the hand. So wire wheel and grinders and buffers, probably the most dangerous tool in the shop. So if you're using one of them, hang on for dear life, because yeah, they can mess you up real quick. They'll whack you 2 or 3 times before you even feel it, and the thing will go flying across the room, blow out a window. Who the hell knows what it'll do? But I got lucky. It flung it around and went straight to the ground after it whacked 2 of my fingers twice. But Yeah, wire wheels, bench grinders, and buffers. I hate them, so be careful. I didn't have my gloves on, but then again, I don't even know how much difference that would have made, because it did cut me a little bit, but for the most part, it just whacked me, and yeah, I'm sure my fingernail is going to turn purple. But this is what we worked on today. Got the Big Blue rehandled, and a couple of railroad spikes, and these will be going on Etsy. Big Blue's going to be going in my shed, and that big giant wrench, I might start on that tomorrow. I really want to make a katana for myself. It's going to be a personal project that I just want to have for myself, and just keep it as my own. And yeah, I think that giant wrench is what I'm going to use to make it. I did make a wakizashi that I have in the house. Been kicking around whether or not I want to put it on Etsy. I actually have some new wrap coming for it that I ordered just today, and I might get that wakizashi on Etsy. I'm not sure, but I was going to keep it for myself, but it really wasn't quite what I'm after as far as a personal keep. I wanted something a little bit longer, and I just wasn't able to pull the length out of that railroad clip that I wanted. Still pretty long, but it's definitely a wakizashi size sword, but yeah, I guess I'm just greedy. I wanted something a little bit longer, and I think that wrench is going to be able to give it to me. So for right now, I'm going to hold on to the wakizashi, and that entire build is on my Rumble channel. You can look it up, and it's like 10 parts. I handmade every fitting, every piece, everything on that wakizashi was handmade. Nothing was bought. So probably lose my ass on it if I put it on Etsy. I don't see getting any more than $250, maybe $300 out of it, and the amount of time I spend on it with the saya, you know, the Suba, Ciago, everything was just, it was all handmade, and it took a long time. I think I started on that thing like before Christmas, and I don't think I got it done until, you know, April the following year. So it took a long time to do that, and it really stalled down the channel. So I think if I put that up for Etsy, I'm gonna basically lose my ass on it. But at the end of the day, it really wasn't what I wanted as far as having a personal sword. So keep your eyes peeled on Etsy. You might see it pop up there, and you know, I'm kind of proud of it. You know, you are able to disassemble it. All the pieces come apart just like a real one, and I used a railroad spring clip, so believe it or not, I actually did get it to a hamon a little bit, and you can actually see that in the blade when you hold it in the light. It's not quite as noticeable as the steels that they used, but you know, getting a spring steel to hamon, I'll take it. It worked out pretty good, and you can notice it. You can see the difference, but it is subtle. Yeah, I mean, if anyone is interested in that thing, you know, shoot me a message. You can shoot me a message on Etsy, and maybe we'll work something out. But right now it is on my dresser, and it's on display, and I am proud of it, but it's not really what I was looking for when I set out to make my own sword. I really wanted it to be about a foot longer, I guess. I probably could have got that 6 inches longer if I would have took some of the broadness out of it, but I didn't. So what are you gonna do? Start over, do another one. Alright, so this is a whole day in the shop. Just rehandling a free sledgehammer and getting a couple over-the-door hooks banged out for my Etsy channel. And these actually seem to be a pretty good seller. And you can find these over-the-door hooks on my Etsy channel. So if you want to check that out, go to Metal Man Productions on Etsy. It's all one word, no spaces. And yeah, you can find these hooks on there and others like it. So, alright, I'm going to quit running my mouth and shut you down. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by.